How's it going, everyone? My name's Hard Pickle, and welcome back to some more Satisfactory, where I want to try and use our fluid trucks a little bit more throughout our playthrough. In case you missed our last stream, I have actually now got a fluid truck route going into our main rocket fuel city over here, which, again, if you haven't seen this, don't worry. Essentially, all we're doing is producing quite a bit of rocket fuel, about 360,000 megawatts worth. And I have actually got a fluid truck system already in place, as I'll show you very quickly. It's fine, it does need improvements though, so that is what we are going to be doing today. As you can see, this is the path, and it works out pretty well. It's coming from our water extractor facility just beyond yonder, comes around there, loops around here, then it goes through this tunnel over here, which I have actually worked on slightly off camera. Not doing anything remarkable, just tidying it up, make sure it looks rather presentable. As, okay, luckily a new day is dawning, so the game should get a little bit brighter for us. And there we go, here is our fluid truck. And unfortunately I can't ride it because the bug is still in the game, where if you try and get into a fluid truck, that weird glitch on the right side of the screen appears. I don't know why it does that. It has been in the game since updates 1.1? I don't actually know, it's been in the game for a while, but it's definitely quite prevalent now in update 1.2, so I can't physically ride a vehicle due to the flashing lights, just in case it does trigger something, so I have to watch out for that. Not for me, but for anyone watching, potentially. And there's a few other things I want to try and get done today. So firstly, the logistic maths. How many items do I want to try and produce? I already know all of that. In fact, I can probably try and show you guys as well. You might see a black screen here just for a minute as I get my notes software up and running. Welcome, Johnny, by the way, first one tuning in today. Hope that you're doing good. So let's look over the maths very quickly. I think it's on this tab, isn't it? It's on one of them at least, one of these two. There we go, yes. So I know exactly what I want to try and do. We'll use this as an example. So when I make my 2,000 plastic, I'm going to need 1,000 rubber and 1,000 fuel. To make our 2,000 plastic, we need 34 refineries. To make our 1,000 rubber, it's 50 refineries. And then to make our 1,000 fuel, it's exactly 10 blenders. And here are all the raw resources that I need as well. 1,500 crude oil and 1,000 water. Luckily, we are actually making a decent amount of extra heavy oil residue from all of our rubber, which is great. This will then be used, down here, there we go, to then create some extra turbo fuel, and we'll get some iron ingots in here as well, actually some iron ore, to then make our iron ingots with our compact coal. I would never normally suggest this recipe, but because I've got so much extra compact coal that I'm quite literally not doing anything with, I might as well try and turn it into something, and I don't want to be placing down 100 and something coal generators, where yes, you can actually use compact coal in a coal generator, because it's coal, but I don't want to do that because, again, it takes up a lot of room, it takes a lot of time to do, and I kind of just need iron, so I'm completely fine with that compromise, and I haven't got anything against it. So this is what we're going to be working on today. Luckily, all of my water is already coming into our factory, which is great. We've got 1,000 coming in via pipes, and then we have 726, I think. Have I written it down here? See, I haven't. This is why I was mentioning in my video yesterday to sometimes write down the amount of resources that you're getting from one particular station, because now I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's 726, but alas, we have some water coming in through there, which is great. Welcome, Slash. Hope that you're doing good. Do you think trucks are worth it now? Without a tool for roads, you still prefer trains? I prefer trains. I like trains. I still feel like in most categories, trains are still better, especially if you are dealing with further distances. I think trains are great, because the problem with trucks is that you've only got one storage area. Like, for example, you've got one input, and that's basically it. But with trains, you've got multiple different freight or fluid carriages, which can massively help you out compared to trucks. I mean, you can just place down multiple trucks, but again, trucks consume fuel, trains don't. So I still think trains are a lot better, but now trucks have also massively improved since update 1.1 as well, so it mostly just comes down to the player, in my opinion. So, logistic maths done. We also have to try and design our rubber blueprints, our plastic blueprints, which actually shouldn't take that long to do. Maybe 10 minutes each, because I've already got the skeleton designed. All I've got to try and do now is just switch a couple things around, and that's basically that. We then have to finish our fluid truck route, which is the very first thing I'm going to be working on today. And then that's actually, I've done that, haven't I? Yep. Wow, that makes my life a bit easier. So that's it. That's the 4 things we have to try and do. This is already done, but it might need a couple tweaks here and there, hence why I've still written it down here. But as far as what I'm aware, this is done, which is great. So let's start over here. Finish the fluid truck route. Okay. First things first, we are most likely going to try and implement a couple of the fluid buffers, which again, if you guys saw yesterday's video, which thank you for all the people that watched that, by the way, that was very kind. But if you guys did see that, you'd know that I like to add in these fluid buffers. Oh, there we go. 726. I was right. Wow, I remembered what I did 2 days ago. That's remarkable. Just brilliant stuff. Welcome, Zal. Hope that you're doing good. You think by the time you get to rocket fuel that fuel cost for trucks and tractors becomes... Yeah. Because rocket fuel is pretty good for it. It is. Okay, let's just get a single fluid buffer into here. In fact, I can probably squeeze in 2. I really wanted to. Let's see. Are you going to potentially peek through this wall? Okay, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. That's fine. What I can do instead then is this. Move you to the middle there. Oh, actually, I can't place you down there because apparently you're interacting with the train station. That's fine. So we can do this then instead. Grab that. And okay. No. No. Can I potentially have you running along the roof? Actually, no, we have got a bunch of water coming in through here. And having said that as well, we are actually going to be needing a bunch of this water. Literally just here. That's actually pretty interesting. So there's no point dragging out a pipe all the way over here just to have it turn instantly then come back on itself. Okay then. Is there another way that I can try and organize this? Because you're coming straight out of here, aren't you? I can rotate you. And I think that should be lined up there. I don't worry too much about this coming out through the ceiling because there's actually nothing in here for now, so that's completely fine. If I try just to temporarily remove this and also get rid of you there now as well, then select our blue pipes. That is going to line up with each other. And now we should start to see fantastic water coming into the fluid buffer. Great. Now you're actually peeking out through this side. Not yet, but you will be when I place down the pipe there. Do I want that to happen? For now, sure. Unless it becomes a bit of a problem later on. But as of right now, this is honestly fine. I can then get rid of this. And then replace this with you. Any dramas or complications? Not really, but you don't line up very well. So I do want to just very quickly make sure that you do line up. It's not really that important, but visually it's quite important to me. Also get rid of that gap in the ceiling there. Fantastic. Okay. So this side is relatively done for now. I do want to try and head back over though to the other side where I'm currently loading my water into the fluid truck. Because I do want to try and add another fluid buffer. Then a viewer from yesterday also suggested adding in a valve as well. So I will go ahead and do that. Hopefully that will make a good amount of difference there as well. I don't know how many fluid trucks I'm going to need for this, because again, I'm only transporting 726 fluid per minute, or water per minute. And the journey itself, we calculated yesterday, takes 1 minute and 42 seconds, was it? Actually, I think it was Saturday we did that. Yeah, I didn't stream yesterday. So let's just say it takes 2 minutes. That's about 1,400-ish water per load. That's not too bad. And you can handle... what, 3,200? So we're completely fine with only one truck and one fluid station here, then one fluid station over there respectively. Okay, brilliant. Yeah, this is the bit that I wanted to try and change. We are going to need 2 pipes actually. Wait, do I? Yeah, because that's 700 per minute. I can only handle 600 per minute here. So, yes, we are actually going to need 2 pipes on the other side. But luckily here, we have actually got tons of room. So what I'm going to try to do, hoping that it doesn't actually clash or interact too badly here with the walls on the outside, is head over back to organization, get our fluid buffers, and I suppose I want to try and make sure that the ladder is in the middle. So, is that good? That seems a little bit better. Although, again, that is definitely going to peek through the wall there. Right, so what I might have to try and do is a little something like this. Hoping that this is going to work. I've got no idea if it will. I'm just hoping a little bit. Okay, I have got to nudge you over slightly. That's fine. Make your trains and roads together and use both. Yeah, that's another good idea as well. You don't just have to use trains or just have to use roads. Use whatever you find useful, or use both. Okay, that is actually going to work. Great. It doesn't have to be anything major, but as long as there is a fluid buffer here, then it's completely fine. And regarding the actual valve itself, which is over here in logistics, can be attached to a pipeline, has an in and output direction. So where's the best place to place this then? Here? I don't really see the point of that though. Because you're already heading in that direction. I'll leave it for now. If I have to change it, I will. But as of right now, I don't see much of a problem there. Okay. So we're gathering all of our water. This isn't supposed to be open, by the way. I am eventually going to be sealing this off. But as of right now, there's not really much... You know what? I might as well. What am I going to do it with? I actually don't even know. I suppose with this here, okay. Because this has been left open now for quite a significant amount of time. And I'm not too happy about it, but the reason why I've never addressed it... Okay, why is it doing that? Okay, I think that's fine. The reason as to why I've never bothered addressing it is because it's never been of huge importance. So I might as well. It takes a minute to do. Let's zone you up there a little bit. Yeah, how's everyone doing in the chat, by the way? I hope that everyone's doing good. We are going to be live for hopefully a good couple hours today. Going to try and get a lot done. That's the plan. If it's going to work, I don't know. But the plan is to try and get a lot done. And the best way to see if these blueprints are aligned is by grabbing you and zooming you over to here. And that looks pretty darn good to me. How about height-wise? Yep, that's pretty much perfect. Everything seems aligned. No reason why it shouldn't be, but it's good to check these things. Then when it comes to this... I don't really want to place both of these together, so I might... Oh, I know, I can't do that. Okay, the design here might actually look a little bit weird, because you have to be there. And in theory, I try and flank this with both of this particular kind of blueprints. The Mark 1 variant of this. And why are you doing that? Oh, yes. Hey, what's you? You're chrome? Why did I use chrome? I designed these blueprints months ago now, but I'm just wondering why did I decide to put chrome there? Oh well. That's fine. Does it matter? Not really. I'm just questioning my life choices, that's all. And same thing over here now as well. Making sure that I cover those stairs to stop the snap. That looks fine. That will have to do. And there we go. That wall is now done. I will have to come inside of this, well, the interior of the factory to try and work on this part here a bit more. I don't like the way it's a path straight just into the abyss. We have got to try and add something there, but as of right now it's fine and it does what I need it to do, so I'm going to leave it. And it isn't really a major part of today's stream. If I want to come back to it another day, I will, but this has nothing to do with fluid tracks. Well, the exterior doesn't, at least. Everything there looks fine now. I do want to have a very quick gander here at my logistics floor. Okay, everything still looks fine. Just double checking. And here's where we've got the 1000 water coming in. That's great. And a wall there now as well. So these two pipes are actually rather critical as to what we're trying to do right now. All of these pipes make our fuel, which then goes into our rocket fuel. But then these two water pipes, again, go into making fuel, but the fuel then makes the plastic and rubber. It's quite a weird recipe, but from what I've worked out and calculated, it actually seems like a pretty decent recipe. I have tried to make this at scale once, and it didn't work out brilliantly, but this time I'm going to try and tackle it slightly differently. By that, I mean I'm actually going to try and do the maths right this time. And again, as far as what I'm aware, everything here is indeed correct. With all the refineries and blenders and the maths. Hopefully everything should be okay. I'll be very surprised if it isn't. Because I spent quite a lot of time doing that. But let's see. You never know. Right, so the first course of action then is actually to try and design our rubber blueprints. Okay. Let's whip out our blueprint designer. Just like that. And the skeleton that I want to try and place down here is this. Because what are you actually making? You're making heavy oil residue and polymer resin. I don't want that. I want you to produce rubber. This one. Yes. Preferably only 20 per minute. That seems completely fine. If I have to overclock a couple of them, I have no problems doing that. I'd rather not use any power shards though. I know I'm going to in some cases already, like we talked about on Saturday. But the reason for that is because I'm going to need over 1,000, I think it was 1,400 fuel generators, which is quite a lot. So what I'm going to do instead is add 3 power shards to each one of my fuel generators, which means in total I'm only going to need roughly 657, I think it was, fuel generators, which is still a stupid amount, and I don't quite know how I'm going to tackle that just yet. At all. But, trying to stay positive, but we are going to tackle it head on, and hopefully it's going to work out. If not, well, then oh dear. Anyway, you are now correct. And because we're making rubber, I'd actually appreciate if, I'll just go into this button here for a second, if I paint these particular refineries a nice black color. Because when I make my plastic, you'll then be painted blue. That'll be the easiest way to tell the difference between what's making what, basically. You don't have any blueprints for both? Oh, that's fine. You don't really, well, blueprints help, but you don't need blueprints. I recommend them if you're trying to build something at a large scale like this. If I didn't use blueprints for anything here, I'd still be building the foundations. So I think it does massively help, but you don't have to use them. They're more of an aid, more of a guide. So 30 crude oil going in there, another 30 going in there, so that's 60 for you two. Then coming out of here, we've got the heavy oil residue, which is already accounted for. And then you are going to be for the rubber. I've finished the blueprints. There you go. That was simple, wasn't it? It's as simple as that. And I honestly don't think there's anything else I want to do with this. When it comes to the name, crude oil is going in. Actually, I don't like how it's called crude oil because that doesn't actually help. I'm going to change it to rubber. No, caps, please. There we go. Rubber times 2 because there's 2 refineries. 001 because it's the first variant of the blueprint. So that's how I just do my maths there. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing, but this time for plastic. And then paint you blue. No. Yep, I like that. Now, I'm actually wondering here, if I copy and paste my settings over, is it going to paint this blue as well? No, okay, that's fine. I didn't think it would, but hopefully this should now say plastic. It does, yes. If I wanted this refinery to be the same color and the same settings, I'd have to press the middle mouse button or the scroll wheel, and then there you go. It should now be blue, which it is, and have the same settings, which it does. That's basically how you do that. You're still carrying heavy oil residue. Yes, that's fine. Everything here is good as well. Okay, I like this. I like this a lot actually. Plastic ×2. The first variant. Let's save that. So we've now got ourselves 2 brand new blueprints, and luckily, I don't quite know how this works, but if you select a blueprint from one of your categories, then add it to the blueprint designer, and then save a blueprint in a similar fashion to the way that in the same category that you got the previous blueprint from, it saves it next to it, rather than going into the undefined category. But then sometimes it doesn't, so I don't know how that works, if I'm being completely honest. Oh well. So in the space of 20 minutes, we've now done the rubber, done the plastic, and we've finished the fluid truck route. Well, kind of. We've still got to mess around a little bit with this, but for the most part, as you can see, it's working, it's done, so that's fantastic. The next part that I want to try and focus on now is going to be rubber logistics. And the same thing now for plastic. Plastic, the logistics, there we go. And this is what's going to take up the bulk of the next couple of days. We're then going to have to also do our fuel logistics as well. Which again, that's going to require a lot of time. Oh dear. Okay. Anything else I want to work on? I don't think so. That's fine. Where do I change the colour? There we go. I should probably know where to do that. And I haven't done them just yet, hence why they are going to be marked as red thumbs down. There we go. So where are we going to begin? Well, what I was actually thinking about doing is choosing a fairly small recipe to begin with, and trying to fit everything into here. And I think the easiest way to do that is by seeing these red numbers underneath here. How many refineries do I need and how many blenders do I need? If it's, for example, something like this that requires 84 refineries and 10 blenders, I probably can't fit it into that, 10 by 5 space. I could try, but it won't work. Ooh, maybe for that. No, that's 400, 750, 150. So what's the lowest I have? You. 100 plastic. You require 5 refineries and 1 blender. That should be able to fit into here. I'll be very concerned if it doesn't fit into here. We can get maybe 4 this way. 1, 2, 3. In fact, that's what I'll do, I think. We'll do 3 there. In fact, no, we'll do 4 because I've already got that blueprint in place. So I think what I'll end up doing is placing down that blueprint that we literally just designed there previously for the rubber. Plop that down into here. But then when it comes to this blueprint, reduce the, the output here to 50% and 50%, which then means I've technically only got a 100% or 2 50% outputs, which is completely fine. So that will then solve that. I still need 2 more refineries and a blender. Let's see. I could maybe fit you guys in here, and then when it comes to our blender, here, it works. I've also got a little bit of wiggle room there in the middle, and everything will fit. Okay. I could actually get another row of refineries if I really wanted to. And I think there was something over here. There we go. 150 plastic. Because yours 7 refineries. 7 refineries and 1 blender. I know that I can fit 4 there. I can easily fit another 3 in here, then have our blender over there. So I think we can do that. Yeah, let's go for that. Could I get both into here? Let's see, that would be 2 blenders as a minimum. And then quite a lot of refineries. I don't think I can get both into here. I would love to. But yeah, I don't think that's going to be a thing. Thank you very much to Dingus Khan for the sub. That's very kind. And thank you very much to Lars for the sub. Welcome, everyone. Okay. I think I'm going to commit with this then. 7 refineries, 1 blender. Yep. Which is going to end up being 8 refineries, because again, we'll do the same thing like what I just talked about over there. So 8 refineries there, then our blender over here. I think visually that will end up looking quite nice. It's just whether or not I can actually fit this in, I'm unsure of. But let's have a crack at it. Why not? And just as a refresher for myself, I can't go below here. No. Right. So what we are going to need first is our 75 rubber. So this is the best thing I could use here for this. Do you like the new things introduced in 1.2? Overall, yes. I think they are quite good so far. I know some people wanted more. I can understand that. I can. But from my personal point of view, I'm happy with it. I think trucks have long needed an update. The fact they finally got one, I think, is fantastic. Anything else I would have added personally? Honestly, I don't even know. It works. I'm happy with it. So, from my perspective, I think it's pretty good. How about yourself, Brett? Do you like it? Okay. I think we can just about squeeze this in here. Height-wise, is that going to be okay? From a pedestrian point of view, completely fine. From a logistics point of view, pretty good as well. Because there's still tons of room underneath here, if I need it, for more logistics. So let's go ahead and plop that down. We'll then grab our blueprint and make sure that you are right next to this. You are. Fantastic. Okay, I think the placement is rather perfect. Let's go ahead and just plop that down. And you should be able to now produce our 75 refineries. Our 75 rubber. Wait, did I not change? Oh, I didn't copy over the settings in the blueprint. Okay, I have to make sure to do that. In fact, before I forget, let's just do that straight away. There we go. And the one that we needed was this one. So which one of you hasn't got it then? You're fine. You're not fine. There we go. Sometimes it's the smallest mistakes that can have the largest consequences. Luckily there we saw the problem and fixed it straight away. But if I plop down 150 of them, then yeah, that would be just wasted minutes. Okay. First things first, let's try and connect the power. Obviously, I designed this blueprint before I realized that you could connect all of the machines together without using power poles or the power... what are they even called? Power outlets. But still, it works. Luckily. You can see where people would like more, but I think the new truck mechanics are amazing. Yes, the random ores seem like it would make the game a lot less linear in certain playstyles. Yes, I think so as well. Especially if you have played the game for a while. And like myself, you kind of know where everything already is. That makes a huge difference. I think like I talked about, was it in yesterday's video? No, it was the everything new in Satisfactory 1.2 video. I now no longer know where all the ores are. There's now uranium next to coal next to bauxite, whereas before it was iron, 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 copper, 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 copper. Now it's just a bunch of random things together, which I do actually quite like. Right, so our very first stage is done, which wasn't really that difficult in fairness. Before I actually mark you green, I want to make sure that everything is working. So I am going to need to bring in our crude oil, which will be coming in from this direction. Maybe not, because I've got nitrogen gas here. It'll be coming in from underneath here, then. Okay, maybe not through there. Oh, dear. I thought I made my logistic floor big enough, but clearly, no. We're actually going to need 112.5 crude oil here. We've got 480 there, 480 there. So I'm going to grab this, using straight mode, of course. There we go. Then just bring it forward. And again, we're not going to be needing all of this, but we are going to be needing quite a lot of it. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's where I would have liked you to have gone. That's okay. I think that's honestly fine. What I could do is bring you up to here. Which you won't be straight, apparently, so maybe don't do that then. Let's try that again, shall we? No, I can already tell that's not going to be straight. It's bent. Okay. That's fine. Where do I want you to go? I want you to go in this direction. Preferably, I suppose, right there would actually be fantastic. Is there any way I could move you? No, because then I have to move that one there as well. What if I had you come underneath there? That could work. So line you up. Welcome, Jake. Hope that you're doing well. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. There we go. Got there in the end. 1.2 is a good update, but you do think as a rule they should add more buildables to the game, such as with each update. Just cosmetic items like more beams, pillars, foundation types. Absolutely, I think that'd be quite nice. Like what they did with update 1.1. That was quite nice. Ooh. I like what the game is trying to do there. But at the same time, it doesn't actually work. If I do this, though. Right. Because, yeah, the good thing with update 1.1 is that they did actually add quite a lot of nice architectural things. Which, as someone who does build a lot in this game, probably a bit too much, I quite like that. Okay. I'm now going to have to just come along here. And make sure that I've got these zoned every once in a while. Like this. I have to go in somewhere there. Yeah, this would definitely work. There's no way this isn't going to work. It's a bit finicky. But to be honest, most logistics, especially when you are dealing with... That's wrong. When you are dealing with many hundreds of items, if not thousands of items per minute, it is going to be difficult to do. But I actually find that one of the most enjoyable things to do in this game is to be dealing with hundreds, if not thousands of items per minute. This is what your factory is designed to do. And now I want it to go up there. Perfect. Oh, maybe not. Or almost perfect. The concept was fantastic, but the execution, oh god, not so much. One, two. Okay, how's that? Lovely. However, are you going to need a pipeline pump? No, you're not. Okay. Do I trust that? For now, sure. Yeah, why not? We'll see how it goes. Because in case you don't know, you have got a 10-meter head lift, and this is coming from a packager. I'm pretty sure this is less than 10 meters. Because 2 foundations... This is 8 meters. And 10 meters is... There. And it's definitely less than that, so we should be fine. One thing I do want to try and add, most likely somewhere along here, right now, I don't know. Yeah, we can do it right now. Is going to be a... Wait. Am I... tripping, or is this new? A pipeline T-junction. What? Why have I not seen that before? I honestly don't know if that's new or if I have just fully lost the plot. I'm going to go with that anyway because I might have to branch it out in multiple different directions, but okay. That's nice. Now all of our crude oil is coming up into there. Our power here is connected, but we're still not connected to an actual power source just yet. So I'm going to very quickly drag you here. Hopefully you're lined up properly. You are, yes, lovely. Oh dear. Having you come back over there and line up with that. Lovely. We should now see these refineries working. I can hear them working. And you are now producing rubber. There we go. Okay. We'll then join you guys together. And you're currently heading off in this direction. That's fine. That's actually perfect, to be honest. And you guys can go along there. Adding more lighting options, yes. Street lamps without the beams would be great. Yeah. I agree. Because the thing is, in this game, lighting... And I've been saying this for... I don't know how many years now. It's huge. If I just go into my organization, the only thing I've even bothered unlocking is the ceiling lights. But it's absolutely massive. It's fine here, but this is basically 2 foundations long. If I try and fit it into a 1 foundation gap, it actually just completely overlaps it. That's what I've tried to do over here. I'll very briefly show you guys. It is new. Okay. How did I not notice that? I made a video. I've actually got to make that, list that in the pinned message in the everything new in 1.2 video. Because I honestly had no idea that was even new. There we go. Here I've got the ceiling light in action. And it overlaps the edge of this area in particular. Hence why I had to add this. The inverted ramp. Otherwise, it would just look hideous. But oh well. So maybe smaller lights as well, I wouldn't say no to. Also, it's the reason why I consistently opt for a ton of lights. Because the good thing about lights is they're quite small. Very small in some instances, which is fantastic. Okay. I can now safely tick both of these off by highlighting them green. Green basically means that I've done it. That's all it means. The next thing that I now need to try and do is split the heavy oil residue. As of right now, I'm making 61.25. Okay. That's quite an annoying amount. And we need 37.5 heavy oil residue. Okay. That's tolerable, I suppose. Are the fluid trucks better than fluid trains? Depends. I think fluid trains are better, even though fluid trucks can hold more. But the problem, just like what I was talking about earlier with the trucks, as you see our fluid truck leave right there, is that with trains, you can have a dozen different carriages on one locomotive, and you can carry, in total, if you have 10, I think that's like, what, 16,000 or 24,000? Whereas with the trucks, you can't just have multiple different trucks attached onto each other, obviously. You can have multiple trucks on a particular route if you really wanted to, but the good thing with trains is that it moves as a oneer, whereas with trucks, it doesn't. So that could be quite finicky to try and sort out, especially considering if you've got 3 trucks on a route, and coincidentally, all 3 trucks are right next to each other, the first truck is going to get the 3,200 cubic meters of water. The second truck's going to get hardly anything, and then the third truck's going to get hardly anything as well. But by the time that they've reached the other side of, well, the other truck stations, this would have already completely filled up, and now you're no longer transferring the water that you actually need, or the crude oil, or the liquid that you need. So the good thing about trains as well is that they are more consistent. So I would still say, personally, fluid trains, or trains in general, are better. However, if you wanted to use fluid trucks, you can. Especially like what I've done, for example. I'm not really transferring that much water. It's only about 700-ish per minute. So it's pretty fine. But if you were dealing with a much larger number, then yeah, it can be a potential problem. Okay, heavy ore residue. Firstly, 20, 40, 60, 80. I'm making 5 extra rubber than what I need. So I've got to reduce you to 18.5. 17.5. There we go. I'll do one there. Then I'll do one here. This means that heavy ore residue from here is now 17.5 plus 20, which is 37.5. Which is, hopefully, exactly what I need. As my voice decides, you know what, let's just die. There we go. So I'm actually going to disconnect that just for a quick second. And somehow try and loop you around here. It might not look beautiful, but it should be functional. I do care a bit more about that, if I'm honest. You're now going to go somewhere. I haven't actually worked out exactly where you're going to go, because I'm going to need this heavy ore residue to produce iron and... Wait. Compact coal, isn't it? Yeah, so... Oh, okay. So you're going to make turbo fuel. So what I want to try and do then is try and make it evidence where this pipe is going to end, so that when I come back to this in the future, it's going to be nice and simple for me just to try and work on. Which in that case, honestly, it might be easier if I got you and then brought you out that way instead. Oh, you know what? I think this actually is going to fit, if I can fit. There we go. It is going to fit. Just about. Okay, let's grab that for a second. In fact, no, that's the wrong one. Wait, is it the wrong one? No, it's not, is it? No, it's not. Okay. I'm gonna bring you down to around about there. And line this up. And bring you back by 2. Now I'm hoping, using the horizontal to vertical pipe, which is one of my favorite things in this game, that should now work out fine. Okay. I don't quite know how far along I want to bring it. But again, I wanted to make it rather obvious where this particular pipe ends. So, here I suppose, maybe? Just leaving it somewhere there. With of course a number next to it saying how much heavy ore residue I'm carrying here. That would help. I could also do this. It's too late now, but oh well. Good to know for the future. Right about there. You should be able to reach. Brilliant. And again, this is going to be 37.5 heavy ore residue. Really? We're doing this now? Typical. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sincerely. Okay. I mean, that's pretty cool. We've got fuel. We've got heavy ore residue. We've got crude oil. And just a bunch of nitrogen gas. Okay. Which then means that I'm now going to need you lot to come around over here. Can I maybe do this? Yeah, but not really the way I was intending it to be. Same with you, you're not really snapping the way I want you to be. Okay. What I'll do then is add in our floor here. Which I think is going to be this level? No. Yeah. I think. Yes, okay. That is indeed correct. Grand. Welcome all Shining Fish, hope that you're doing good today. And welcome Shay Bus Maximus, welcome Jeff, hope that you guys are well. They increased the liquid trains from 1,600 to 2,400. One detail they didn't say for some... Yeah, they didn't mention that. That's why I was confused, because I saw some people in my chat saying that they increased the capacity. But then when I go over the transport, then check, it still says has a 1,600 cubic meter or 32 slot capacity, which now is no longer true. It's still a 32 slot capacity, but now it's 2,400, which is roughly the equivalent of 24 stacks, I believe, if you were going to package the liquid. Wait, no. If you don't package the liquid, it's roughly equivalent to 24 stacks. Unpackaged. I mean, that's not bad. It's less than the trucks, which I think makes sense. If it was also better than the trucks, there'd be no point to use fluid trucks at all whatsoever. So the balancing there does make sense. And also 1,600 is comically low. And that's really bad. I'm glad that has got some attention drawn towards it. Okay. The good thing now is I can hopefully place you along the ceiling, which yes, I absolutely can. Now what's next? It's going to be to make our 75 fuel, which is actually going to be over there. So I actually won't do that right. Actually, I suppose I have to do that right now. Yeah. Okay. In that case, we'll do this. Perfect. Bow, bow, bow. Then just make sure this corner is nice and flat. Beautiful. Do I want to zone in my entire floor as of right now? Probably not. I'm also going to use 75 water for this, which is where the water from here is going to help us out. Which is quite handy. Okay. Mr. Blender. I should already have a fuel blender blueprint, right? Rocket fuel, there we go. The problem here, though, is that I've got 2 of these. I only need 1. I could use 2. But there's no point. There's just absolutely no point. What I'm going to do is try and find the exact center here. Also, make sure the output is actually facing that direction. Because there's no point having all my inputs coming in from the south. And then having them to loop all the way around there. That's just stupid. Okay. That's better. We'll then chuck you in right about here. Looks pretty good. Because you're roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 foundations across. It's like 5.1. But we'll say 5. So the middle is going to be in the 3rd one here. I would say that is most likely the middle right there. Okay. Height-wise, is it good? Height-wise, it's perfect. Let's lop it down, I'd say. Yes. Is this the right blueprint? It is the right blueprint, yeah. Good. Get rid of all that. You can stay. Then everything where can go? Well, I suppose all of you can go, can't you? Although, do you have to? You don't have to, no. Water can come in through that side, so the water can go. There's no reason for that to be remaining here. Fuel is most likely just going to go out that direction. So, honestly, all this can just go. Then the heavy ore residue is coming in from here. So what I'm actually going to do very temporarily is yeet you over to here. In fact, oh, you line up with that? That's infuriating. I can nudge you over there a little bit, I think. And I do want to try and get away with that. Because otherwise, that is just going to be annoying. And I don't like when things annoy me. Because no one does. Okay, that's just not going to work. Where is it? There we go. So what we're going to try and do here then instead is line this up. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then bring you back to line you up with this again and go 1, 2. If the straight mode didn't bug, then there's no reason why I would have to do that. But unfortunately, straight mode is rather inconsistent. So we're left with no other choice. It's mostly inconsistent when going around corners, I find. When it comes to pipes. Okay, all of this can then go. So that should now be our heavy oil residue. Oh, wait, I just realized I'm going to be placing in more refineries here. Ooh. So this is going to get in the way of that, I think. Yeah, okay, right. How about if you looped around the outside? Which I imagine should be possible. How? I know how. I think. Can I squeeze you there? Is that going to be a thing that I can try and do? Because if it is, that would just make my life at least 2.3% easier. Somewhere around there. Grab the foundation here. Grab this yet again. Then here. Okay. What are you doing? Thank you. It's too early for a crash out. A straight mode crash out. Okay, this will now, well, in theory, completely avoid the logistics of our next couple of refineries. Hopefully. Probably not. But in theory, it should. And where's our power? Our power is right here. I can't go through there anymore, can I? Tragic. You are now here. I do want to get rid of this because you are slightly overlapping in a way that I don't find it suitable for my eyesight. And I suppose I would like you to go along here. In fact, you know what? Just attach it to there. There you go. Our blender should now be powered up. The problem is, it's about to turn night, which means I'm about to be able to see absolutely nothing, which is great. We have got our light turned on. If I didn't have my light on, it would be very difficult. I do appreciate the light. It's small things like that that I appreciate. Okay. So the heavy oil... Wait, why have you got no heavy oil residue? I mean... You should have some. Unless you're seriously telling me that's more than 10 meters. Which I can tell you now, it's not. Why are you... Wait. No, it's not because we've got too much rubber. Why are you taking your time with that then? Because you're both going into here. There's tons of heavy oil residue in here as well. Maybe we are going to need a pump. Which I don't think we should need one. Let's just go with a Mark 1. There's no point in getting a Mark 2 for this. Actually, there is because it's better looking. We can afford it. Just. Not at the rate I've been building stuff recently, but so far we haven't actually had to worry about resources at all in the last couple months, which I'm quite happy with. Okay, wow, that's very quickly solved that problem. Brilliant. The next thing I'm a little bit concerned about is our water, because you are coming in through here. I've rotated you on that. This is going to work. I just thought of an idea using straight mode. It's slightly lower than that. I don't know if that's going to frustrate me enough to completely rip out everything and do it all over again. Yes, it is. Okay, that's fine. What I'm going to try and do here instead then is very quickly hop over back to our organization. Fluid buffer. Okay, so now you're lined up with it. If I... Is it a half nudge, do you think? Or is it a full nudge? Let's see. We'll start with the half nudge. That looks pretty good. Yeah, I would say that's actually perfect. Fantastic. Then you're now half a nudge down, but I can't really see you as vividly as I can see this, so that's completely fine. Okay. The next thing to now address is we've got 726 water coming into this. I only need 75. So now what I'm going to do is zone the wall hole. There we go. So that you're in line with this. That right there is the sensor. You're a little bit further this direction, and I think a half nudge down. There. No, a bit further. Nice. The game actually managed to help me out there with that line. That's pretty nice. Why can't I hear you? Oh, damn, you're making fuel? Okay. I shouldn't be surprised by... Wait. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, okay. Sorry, brain fart there. Brilliant. I'm now going to add that to there. 726 minus 75 is going to be 651. Let me just double check that. Pretty sure that is indeed correct. 726 minus 75 is 651. Lovely. So we are now left with 651 water. I will now paint you blue, just so I know that it's water, and then get rid of that. We are now producing the 75 fuel that I need, which I just realized. I thought our fuel was going to be going in that direction. It's absolutely not going in that direction. It's coming back over here. Let's try and get you back again. Come here. Invalid pipe shape. How? Oh, it's straight mode. That's why. If only there was a solution. Oh, wait, there is. It's called... Where is it? Horizontal to vertical. Okay. You're situated on a pretty good level there. I can just maneuver around the heavy oil residue pipe. And we'll leave you there for now. Of course, painting you in the respective colours. Welcome, trader. I recognize your profile picture. Have you changed your name? Because the profile picture seems really familiar. But welcome back, though, because I do recognize you. Hope that you're doing well. Okay, how's... No. How's this? I was going too far back. It's fine. What can I do here just so I don't have to see this? And yes, I am fuming about this. Tio, yeah, there we go. Welcome back, Tio. Hope that you're doing good, man. It has been a while. Yeah, you're right. It's been ages. And yes, there we go. That solves the problem. We're currently working on trying to produce some 150 plastic. We are then making 3,200 more plastic and rubber around here, but this is like our little trial area. If this works, then everything else is going to work, basically. So, no pressure, but if this doesn't work, then... Well, oh dear. Okay, moving on. We've now produced our fuel, which is brilliant. What should we do? Green. Great. Also, one thing I was saying before is that we actually have to have two outputs here with our pipes. Because we've got 726 water coming through here. But I can only handle 600 on a Mark II pipe. So I am actually going to need you to come out to here. Let's go straight mode. Hopefully this is going to work. Seems alright. Okay, and in theory, you're now actually split. So we've gone 726 divided by 2. So there's 363 heading off in that direction. Very quickly before I actually do anything. 326 was it? $363. There we go. 363 minus 75 is 288. Okay, so I've only got 288 water here. So if I was to combine them both now, that's still a bit more than what I can handle, isn't it? Yes. Okay, that's fine. 288. Lovely. Okay. Acceptable levels of pipe work have now been completed. Why does that sound like something Ada would say? I don't know. It's fine. We are now going to make our 150 plastic using our plastic blueprints. Making sure that you're on the same level as that and having our inputs... Ooh, actually, where should we have our inputs? I suppose this way. Why not? The rubber can just maneuver around. Actually, then our outputs are going to be facing that way. Do I like that idea? Well, the only output from you is going to be plastic. Okay. Which is a solid. Solids are far easier to move than liquids. Gases are fine. I don't mind gases. Liquids, no. Not for me. Not today. And I think that is now lined up pretty good. We shouldn't have any logistic overlap, which is good, obviously. I think let's plop it in. Let's do it. You're in Japan and then Costa Rica. Oh, nice, man. You seem to love traveling, which is, I mean, it's a lot of people's dream to travel, isn't it? Well, I hope that's all been good fun. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. There we go. Everything's lined up. Actually, I am going to have to make a new blueprint here. Because I've got fuel coming in, so this should be painted orange. And I haven't got a liquid coming out, so this shouldn't even be here. So very quickly, let's design another blueprint. Our technically third one of the day, but it's nothing too overcomplicated. So, the input here is going to be fuel and rubber. Which is this one, the recycled plastic. That is indeed correct. And then you produce 60 plastic per refinery. We need 150, which means in total we need 3 of these refineries. But I am going to be placing down 4 just so it's nice and lined up. I am one of those people, yes. It's fine. Everything is fine if you close your eyes and accept it. You shouldn't have to, but here we are. Just pretend you're watching, I don't know, Kibbutz, okay? Everything down here should now be fine. Got 60 rubber going in. Oh, wait, 60 rubber going in. Which means I'm also going to need something over here as well. Okay. Down here. This is what I'm going to do. Because the rubber is already going to be on this level. So I think it makes more sense just having this in here already. I don't know which direction I want these mergers to be facing in the... Wait. Splitters. Because you're our inputs, so realistically, you're going to be facing that direction. With our inputs closest, and our outputs furthest. Inputs, sorry. So I am going to want you to come in from the left. That's fine. Okay. Everything should now be fine. I want to save this as the second variant because it's the second variant, meaning that it's a brand new variant. Crazy stuff, I know. We can then get rid of this. Wait, what? Oh, it's doing the blueprint bug. No. We've avoided that for so long. If you don't know what the blueprint bug is, when you've selected an item to build, sometimes that item that you have, which is the blueprint, then appears in the blueprint designer, erasing all the work you've just done. So make sure to continuously save the item that you are making in the blueprint designer. Because I've had occasions where I've been making something in here, and it's taken me a while to do. I select a blueprint, and then it appears here. Rather than where I want it to go, it just appears inside the blueprint designer again. Which is annoying, but it's been in the game now for quite a long time. There might be a patch to it one day. I mean, I don't know. Is this built in the right area? Yes, it is. Now, how far back do I want to try and go here? In theory, we've got a good amount of room to play with. But I think maybe here. Potentially even one more. Yeah, I like that. I like that there as well, I think. Beautiful. And because I'm trying to make 150 plastic, we can go 60, 15, which is 75. Same thing over there, 75 plus 75 is 150. It just spreads everything out nice and easily. I could also do, I think... Ooh. 37.5 for each of them. Yeah, I might honestly just do that. It's all going to the same place, so... Why not? Lovely. Just make sure you are producing the right amounts. Nope, I only need 75. And that is why we check these things. I can also get my power shard back. Thank you. I was always wanting a power shard for Christmas. It's a bit early for Christmas. As opposed to my birthday. My birthday's only like 4 months away, 5 months away. So it's basically just around the corner. With how quick this year's already going, considering we're at the end of March now. Like, I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. It might as well be my birthday tomorrow at this point. Okay. Then just do this. I think one more layer. One more layer, no more, no less. Yes, that's right. A Squid Game reference in the big 26. And that should be it. I believe we have now finished our first... Well, from this angle, from above deck, everything's finished. And it looks fine. I'm not sure if I'm necessarily going to like how we have a bunch of random blue refineries every now and then. Everything else is just, well, not blue. So we'll see about that. We'll see. Because this colour scheme works quite nicely as well, in fairness. So I might stick with this for now. We'll see. Again, nothing set in stone. So we come underneath there, and this is where things are a little bit finicky, but we can make it work. Inputs are through here. So what I'm going to have to try and do here is connect that together, and then, oh, you're going to get in the way, aren't you? That's fine. All I have to do is this. Oh. Or not. Oh, okay. Okay. Very quick readjustment here. Make sure that you're lined up properly, which you are. Then just switch you around to here. Okay, that should have now fixed our problem. It does, but you're still not lined up properly. There is a way I can make you lined up, though. That's by doing this. This went. So it's... I think here's the correct level. Yes? Oh, okay, it's still going to do that. Right, I could try this then, maybe. But now I think you're too far in the other direction, aren't you? Yes. Oh, dear. Okay. Let's bring you this way. And do this instead. Oh, now I can't zone you there. What's going on, man? That's too high. That's too low. How about this? There we go. Are you sure that's going to work? Are you positive? I'm not. Okay, we've now got all of our rubber going into our system. Brilliant. When it comes to our fuel, this shouldn't be too difficult to try and do. Because you're coming out through there. There is a gap. That won't be possible. Another solution here is what I can do is just... let's try this first. I don't like how you collide with that. But you work. That's the thing, you work. And again, straight mode isn't being straight, unfortunately. One day it will be. Good. So all of our fuel's going in. All of our rubber is going in. In theory, that should be it. Except I haven't hooked you up to power yet, have I? That should be the very last thing. Which I can do just by doing this. Yep. The system has begun. Now we should start to see some plastic being produced over here now. It might take a minute for it, but if there is plastic being produced on all 4 of these conveyor belts, we've done it. If I stand here, I get a good view of all 4 of them. But yeah, thank you very much again, by the way, to everyone who is tuning in today. I do greatly appreciate everyone watching and stopping by. We are currently testing out our system for plastic and rubber production. As of right now, it's not looking promising. Why? Heavy or residue? No, I don't need that. You've already gone into making our fuel. We've got rubber going in, we've got fuel going in. There's no reason why this shouldn't be working. Should we go and investigate? Okay. No fuel. Okay, so where are you going then? That's our input, right? Yep, that is definitely the input. Oh, it's going. It's just not going very quick. Why? I could add another pipeline pump if that's going to solve the problem. Let's see. If I do that, then I grab you. How about now? I'm seeing green everywhere. Not great for you. Tolerable. No. No, not well, a little bit. Why? Just not making enough, maybe? Because you need 75. 18.75 times by 4. 75. Oh, so I'm producing enough. There we go. There we go. And, okay. I think, honestly, it's just going to take a little bit of time. But it should work. You've got too much heavy ore residue backed up. That's actually really good, if anything. You now need more heavy ore residue going over to produce our fuel. Water-wise, we shouldn't have any dramas or any concerns along here, right? Yeah, nothing. Great. I am most likely, however, going to need one more of these things along here. The fluid buffer. And I think, do fluid buffers give you 10 meters head lift? I think they do, don't they? No, they actually don't. Okay. Okay. So now we'll cover that up. And we are producing plastic, right? Yes, we are. Which means that we have finished our first miniature circuit. We have got some yellow lights being shown everywhere. That's unfortunate. You're both yellow because you've got too much heavy ore residue, which is actually... is that a problem? Just thinking now, that might actually be a problem. Because if you're backed up with heavy ore residue, you're not producing rubber. If you're not producing enough rubber, then we can't produce enough plastic. So I'm going to have to try and find a way to essentially use my heavy ore residue ASAP. Luckily, I don't need plastic or rubber as of right now, but if I want my system to actually be fully functional, I do have to try and find a solution for this. Okay. Right. So I can start producing iron here. Because all of you are going into turbo fuel, actually, aren't you? Yeah, you're all going into turbo fuel. Okay. That's not important. As long as I'm aware that there is an issue there, which needs addressing, not fixing, just addressing, and that's honestly fine. But yep, there we go. That's our very first area now done. Let's try to expand our operations over here. Which is going to be rather interesting because I've already got tons of logistics underneath here, which I don't actually like the fact that they're in the way of this, but oh well. The inputs is going to be here. And then you're going to go here. This then gives me a ton of space, which is great, to go along there. Let's see how many of these I can try and fit in. But firstly, let's tick this off. I suppose same thing here with you, because I have just got a bunch left over. It's going to be 37.5 left over, but it's still nice to know that it has been done. I'm actually not going to tick it though, not right now. Okay. Let's try and do the 500 plastic. So we've got 100 plastic there, 400 plastic here. I don't think I can combine them together because I believe they're going to different locations. Which is fun. I'll then get... Where's the inputs? I think it's there, isn't it? No? Nope. Typical. It's a 50-50. That's better. Can I squeeze one more into there? It is a very tight squeeze, but it perfectly fits. Which I'm really, really happy with. Making sure that you all painted the new colour. Great. And how many can you handle? 20 times by 10, that's 200 rubber. And for this, I'm going to need 50 rubber there and 200 rubber there. Okay, so we'll get the 200 out the way with then, since we've already got the 200. Okay, let's do it. Firstly, I am going to need 300 crude oil coming into here, which I think I might actually have underneath here, if I remember correctly. So let's start with that then, shall we? This will then produce 200 heavy oil residue. Okay, so everything can essentially fit onto just one pipe and one conveyor belt, which, as we can confirm, this is why I do my logistics beforehand. It just makes it easier to try and spot. 400 is less than 780, which is great. That's less. That's it for solids, I believe. Liquids, everything has to be less than 600, which, as we can see, everything is less than 600. So that is actually completely fine. Let's go ahead and join all of this. Okay. Problem number 1 is you. Although you're carrying 480, you then went over here, and we were consuming, what was it, 112.2? 112.5. 480 minus 112.5 is 367, and as of right now, I need 300. So if I actually include that line here and merge it together, that would actually be rather beneficial for us. I'll do that. Then get straight mode. Thank you. Then just yeet you round to there. Meaning that I have now got 60, what was it? 67.5 crude oil left over. Okay. That sounds good to me, Chief. So we'll do that. Over to there. Okie dokies, right. Organization signs. I am not really that close to a sign, am I? I suppose I am. Did I get it? Nope. Nope. How am I missing the sign? There we go. Let's aim slightly higher. Plop this down there. Okay, what else do I have to try and find out? I suppose actually nothing, to be honest. Connect all these together, because we are producing 200 heavy oil residue. This seems like a lot of logistic work just for 200 heavy oil residue. But oh well. It is what it is. In fact, it does seem like quite a lot. Let me just double check. I'm sure it's correct. Yeah, it is. Okay. How much power am I consuming? Is it still 30 megawatts for all of these refineries? It is. That's 300 megawatts right there. Just to produce 200 rubber. That's... wow. Okay. The next thing that I do want to try and focus on now is going to be joining you guys up. We'll make sure this works, which luckily all I've got to try and do is just connect the power, which is directly above us, and then everything should just turn on. If it doesn't, then, well, oh dear. Is the easiest way to frame that. Great. I think. Let's just make sure it works before I say it's great. Which it should do. There we go. Great. I can say it now. However, I don't think I've actually got a fluid buffer for this, have I? Do I need one for this? I honestly don't even know. No, because... nah. I shouldn't do. You're going immediately from the packager straight to that thing. You shouldn't have to be used. It's good to know that this all works, though. And where the heck did I come out from? Well, where did I come out from? I can't even find it now. Oh, actually, I remember. It was over here. There we go. Yeah, with me. Okay, fantastic. Our canisters are now going all the way over here. It's many hundreds of foundations away. Many hundreds of foundations. They'll get there within a while. I can get rid of that. Also, I can now get rid of this. Essentially, I try to remove the sign after I've just used the resource. For example, here it said 180. There's no longer 180 sulfur being used here since you're now over there. So that sign can just go. Next step. We can tick this off firstly. We're producing our 200 rubber, which is great. We now have to try and make our 200 fuel per minute. And luckily, you guys only need 2 blenders. Isn't that nice? Yeah. There it is. Okay. Isn't it crazy that 2 blenders can deal with all of this? I don't know if that's a good thing. That's just saying that this recipe in particular is bad. And that I like the blenders, but yeah. Okay. Well, I like blenders for the most part, should I say. Sometimes they are a bit of a pain. I think size-wise, and also the fact that I don't like liquids anyways, you guys know. So dealing with a machine that is basically entirely made for liquids and gases, it's quite difficult for me. And where's a good location for you? Because in theory, I could actually try and place down a couple more of you over there. I've got tons more room around here, so I could. I'm gonna try and slot you into this corner, I'd say. Yep. You started this yesterday and hooked already? Oh, nice, man. It's good to have you here. It's been a long journey, I'll be honest. It's been so long. The thing that I'm looking forward to, and actually at the same time kind of dreading, is the actual fuel generator part of this. Because as of right now, we've barely even scratched the surface, and we've already used up 1 full quarter over there. We've almost used up this half. So, I'm looking forward to this. Look at that truck. Beautiful truck. Yeah, it's good to have you along for the ride. And it's time to plop you guys down. Where should I plop you down, actually? Water will be coming in from up there, then that side, then the heavy oil residues there. I'm gonna flip you around. Let's do it. It is coming along nicely. It's slow. It's so slow, but I like to take my time. One thing you will notice with this channel and the series is that I really don't like rushing things, like, at all. I don't see the point, in my opinion, I don't see the point in rushing everything. I'd rather take some time to appreciate the game. Okay, why have I left a 4,000 kilometer gap between the pipes and the wall? There's no need for that. That's better. It's much better, actually. Are we even playing the same game? I mean, yeah, everyone's got their own playstyles. You could do a let's game at house, or you could do a construction. Those are the 2 polar opposites. I don't need you now, but I might keep you here because I might need it in the future. I keep saying the word might because I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. Other than that, yeah, grand. Other than the fact I don't know what I'm doing. Right, heavy oil residue. You are now going to pop out of here. How is this straight? Can you explain to me how this is straight? Look at it. Oh, dearie me. It's fine. What I'll do instead is this. That'll then fix the straightness issue. Then just add that into there. Great. Greetings, welcome Lotus. Hope that you're doing good, man. Welcome to the stream. Okay. No power. That kind of makes sense, actually. I should have known about that. If I bring you down to... Ooh. No. Here. Lovely. And attach you to there. Both of these should now be powered on. Fantastic. And you've already got a bunch of heavy ore residue. Oh, great. I am still going to add in one of those pipeline pumps because I'm clearly obsessed and need to be stopped. Oh no. Stop. Okay. That. I probably don't need that, but it's here now, so it's going to stay for the foreseeable future. Don't know what I'm doing, me too. I do maths. I work out everything here, which, I mean, this recipe is nice and small, but then there's a lot of other recipes which make it a bit more complicated, let's just say. All you have to do is just break down the bigger recipes into smaller recipes. Aluminium sheets. Okay, we'll break that down a bit further. Aluminium ingots. Just make a bit of petroleum coke and alumina solution. Then before you know it, you've got yourself the ballistic warp drive. And look how simple that is. That only requires a couple hundred items. Like, it's yeah. Actually, I'd like to know how many items I'm consuming in this particular playthrough. I know raw resources, this is what it is. It's 5,000 crude oil. Ah? I can tell you now, I'm not consuming 100,000 uranium. That's wrong. Why have I... Doesn't matter. But this is pretty much correct except for that. I'm like 95% sure. I think. Maybe not. But actual resource-wise, I close my eyes and pretend everything is going well. And occasionally, it actually does. Water. How much water do I now need? I've gone miles off track here. Where was I? 200... That's correct. 200 water. Okay. What is that? Maths. Are you doing well? And I hope the same for you, my friend. I am. I'm doing alright. Yeah. How is the experimental branch looking and feeling? There are bugs. Can I try and show you one? Yeah, I can. There's a couple bugs I've noticed. If I try and ride in a fluid truck, or if I try and select the hub or the space elevator, this happens. See that on the right side? Yeah, so there's a couple items that I can't look at or I can't touch. Otherwise, yeah, it's not good. Other than that, it's running pretty good. The performance is fine. I like the weather. I like the new game mode. I really like the fluid trucks. A couple of things I didn't know that they added until literally today was the pipeline T-junction. That's new. That's nice. I don't need it. That should have probably been in the game when the pipeline junction was added, but it's nice that's in the game now. And then the other architectural thing that they managed to add was the cross beams, and they look quite nice. I like them. In fact, I can probably show you the fluid truck issue now. There you go. I'm not going to demonstrate it for any longer than that, because it's bad. That was jarring? Yep, that's why I don't ride in the vehicles, because, as you say, jarring. So, water. 200 water. You're both carrying 1,000. I don't want to get involved in that. I do want to get involved in you, though. Well, not in you. Let me rephrase. I would like to grab you by the pipe. No. I like to grab the water in the pipe and then bring it over to this particular facility. I've got to stop saying the word particular. And that should be the plan. Hopefully. Hey, Lord Kare69, thank you very much for the sub. Welcome to the channel. Oh, you're... Oh gosh. Okay. I actually don't mind the way that looks. I think. Yeah. Welcome, Arkip Palmoth. Oh, I butchered your name, but I hope that you're doing good, man. Straight. Just be straight. I'm not asking for much. I'm just asking for a straight pipe. Okay. Thank you. Then you're now going to be lowered down to there. In a hopefully slightly nicer looking fashion than whatever the heck that just was. Can't stand it, I'm sorry. Wait. Let me try and move this back a little bit. Like so. Bring you around here. Without selecting noodle, just straight mode. You're not it's fine. It's okay. And then the one time it could have actually been a straight thing, the game was like, just no. Not today. I want you to line up with this. Then go back by a 1, 2. Then come around to there, then straight down. Horizontal to vertical. In fact, curved might even look a bit nicer. It worked. You know what? It works. It's completely fine. Water is now being added into there. That's brilliant. I might honestly want another pipeline pump. I shouldn't necessarily need one. But I am rather tempted to add in another one. Just like this. We've already got a power source right there. Which means you should now be getting pumped. And brilliant. We have now got fuel being produced. 200 fuel per minute. That right there is what we were trying to look for. So that's good. The next part of the process is firstly to tick this off. I can select all of it at once. Great. And now we just have to make our 400 plastic. Okay. Not bad. Well, I say not bad, I haven't done it yet, so it could be bad. I can't imagine it being bad, though. Then grab our fuel. Then you are going to go... Just default. I think auto is just the default mode for this, isn't it? There. Okay. Our next row refineries. Actually, I don't know how many refineries I'm going to need for this stage. Let me try and select the correct blueprint, which I believe is going to be this. And you produce 60 plastic per refinery. I'm going to need 400. That's 7 refineries. Actually, I wrote it down right next to it. I should have just read it. 7 refineries. Ooh. Obviously, I can fit it in like so, in that row. But now I'm wondering, can I fit it along here as well? I mean, that right there is 2. 4. I could probably get 7 in. It would be a very tight fit, but I think I might be able to. Actually, that can stay. Let's see. We'll have a gander. We'll have a look. I want the outputs to be facing north. And the inputs to be facing south. I'm going to sneeze. That was the most annoying sneeze I've done in my life. Because I felt it. I literally felt it leaving my nose. And I didn't do that. It's okay. I'm not angry. But I mean, like, if I'm going to sneeze, after just announcing publicly to the world I'm about to sneeze, and then I don't sneeze. Anyway. So I can get relatively close to that. I can also go a little bit further north if I really want to. I don't, though, so let's try not to. I can indeed fit 7 here, I think. I am going to have to do the logistics here by myself. I know, crazy world. I can't rely on blueprints for everything. What? But no, that works. Absolutely, that works. It's definitely a tight fit. I don't know if I like the fact that you're facing a different direction to the rest of these. I prefer when every machine's facing the right way. For the most part. I know that you guys aren't, but still. Something else that I could do is just remove that, add a path along here. That will then break up the areas a bit better, in my opinion. So we could definitely try and do that. First time here, what's the plan? Recycled plastic? Basically, yes. So I'm turning a bunch of crude oil into rubber. Then I'm using some of that heavy oil residue being produced with the rubber to then combine with water to then produce fuel. The fuel and the rubber then both combine together to form our plastic. I then do this for about, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, except for this one, where I'm doing the same thing, but the opposite. So making plastic then rubber, rather than rubber then plastic. And that's basically it. Luckily, most of the numbers here are pretty small, like 150, 400. That one's 750. This one's the tough one, and it's the one I'm saving for the very end. 2000 plastic. It shouldn't actually be that difficult. It's the exact same process as the rest of this, just with more items. So that shouldn't be a drama. Just a potential complication when it comes to the liquids and the amount of pipes that we need, and the conveyor belts and all that. And that's going to be used down here to make our 1000 batteries per minute. It's the very first step. Well, technically the very first step is a 1500 sulfur, but other than that, we did our 2000 plastic, 3000 wire, and 1750 aluminium sheets. Because that's really fun to make. It should be enjoyable. I've never made that many batteries before, so... Is there any specific reason why you aren't using the residual rubber recipe? I just like to use this. I think it works out better. You save a good amount of resources, I think, for my calculations. And overall, it's just simple to do. I like it. You can use whatever recipe you want, of course, but I just like using this one. Okay, because I have got a bit more room now over here, I am going to just very quickly move you over, because why not? And then fill that in. Yeah, batteries, yeah. I would say I can't wait, but honestly, I can. I can wait. We've got so much on our plates right now. It's not overwhelming, but there's a lot. Okay. That's pretty perfect. Same thing here now with you. Make sure our outputs are facing this way. Is that right? No, I think you guys are actually facing the wrong... Wait. Because now I've only got 4 of you placed down, firstly, compared to the 7 that I needed. So 3 of you are going to have to be overclocked, but do I want to overclock 3 of you? Not really. There was room over here. I don't know if that's enough room. It is. Have I got logistics underneath here? I know I do. Oh. Okay, they've moved to the side. I could most likely fit these 7 along here. Because looking at the other recipes that I could potentially fit into this location, we've got this that I'm already partway through doing, and also this here as well, which requires 5 refineries and 1 blender. Which, I mean, I can get rid of this. That would be our 1 blender over there. 5 refineries I can easily fit into somewhere here. It's a puzzle. It's a puzzle. I'm trying to figure out how the pieces work together. Rotating 90 degrees like you did earlier didn't look bad, but maybe only 1 blueprint and the next one behind it. Yeah. Could do that, definitely. I'm just trying to experiment right now. We'll see with whatever works out at this point. The 750 rubber. You need 4 blenders. I don't think I can fit that into here. No. I'm going to have to go with this, I would say. So there is going to be some room left over, but that's fine. Also, I'm not painting them blue. I'm changing it to red and black. It just looks cleaner. I don't know what it is, but just the black and the red just mix and it's beautiful. Whereas the blue, it's nice if everything else around it was themed blue. Or incorporated the blue theme. At least it doesn't have to necessarily be painted in blue. But the black and the red plus the blue and the white, I don't think they mix very well. Okay. 7 refineries. I can fit them along there. And that'll be it. I'll then have all of this room over here. Plus 2 blenders. Is there anything that requires just 2 blenders? I don't think so. No. This is the closest we've got. 5 refineries and 1 blender. But what I'm probably going to do is keep both of these blenders here, but then split the efficiency. So 50% there, and then 50% there. That makes sense to me. Then just have a bunch of refineries there. But this is still tons of room, though, for nothing. Oh, this is complicated. Second idea. Keep you lot as blenders still. Because I can still fit an extra blender there. Can't I? So what I might do is grab this. Position you in the middle, like so. Have you come along there. There we go. Underclock, that could work as well, because what I could do here, since I've already got 4 refineries planning to go into there, I can then place down another 4 refineries there, then underclock 2 of the refineries to 50% each, which are the equivalent of still having 3 refineries at 100%. So it's 100%, 100%, 50-50. That'll then solve that problem, and give us a good amount of room over here to build more things. Mostly refineries. Because for you, where is it? I mean, I'm not going to be able to fit 19 refineries into here. Whereas with you, when it comes to the next 3 refineries, I can fit it in there. Then underclock the 2 refineries even further. But then they're already both being massively underclocked. Which still leaves me with an absolute ton of room. %33.3%, yeah. The problem is, I've got too much room for what I'm trying to do, and not enough room for what I want to do. That is basically the problem that we have right now. It's not a massive problem, it's just trying to utilize this space in the best way possible. Like what we did over here, for example, we had quite a limited amount of room, but everything managed to fit into here absolutely perfectly. And now it's just about replicating that over here. Which is definitely doable. We've done it in previous factories, but in fact we did it over there. So it is possible. I think one thing I could have done was maybe fit in the 400 plastic into here. That could have... actually... I wouldn't have been able to fit. Still. Okay, I've got another idea. I know another one. Wow. Let's just go ahead with this idea. Let's just finish this, and then we'll worry about the next one after we've done this. That's going to be the plan. Because you were both wrong, I think. Default. Output facing that way this time. Yes. Let's lower you down. And make sure that you are right on the edge. Pretty good. Raise you up a little bit. Yep, I like that. Because this thing right here should be on the foundation. And it is. We can go 1. We can go 2. We can then go... Ooh. This way. And I don't think they should overlap. They should be completely fine. Yep. Although... I'm going to actually move you here slightly. There we go. You'll see why in just a moment. And one more of you here. Again, facing this way? No, facing that way. Yes, that's correct. I'm now going to go ahead and remove this blender whilst keeping this one here. Making sure that you guys are definitely still on 100, right? Yes, you are. Good. Okay. And again, 100 here for this. I now want to make sure that I've got a path. Another path. Like so. How does that look? Perfect. Which now gives me all of this room over here to fit in just 5 refineries. What if I was to continue this path out here, maybe? Again, I keep mentioning paths, don't I? It's a good way to make use of land. Almost 2 hours into the stream, damn. It's been a productive day. I like doing logistical challenges in this game. Sometimes when I actually work on logistics, people think that I'm frustrated. But I'm just thinking. If I ever go silent for just a couple minutes, it's not because I'm ignoring chat or something, it's because I'm honestly just trying to use my last 2 brain cells to try and think of something. We're now left with this room here. This can be used for industrial fluid buffers. Sure. We'll see. We can come back to that. And then now that our 5 refineries should be able to fit into here. A bit of a weird way, yes, but let's see. I think I'd appreciate if they were this way around. Yep. With the outputs preferably going in that direction, but this is just a quick test. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I haven't got enough room. They're taking the mick. That should be okay. Maybe 4's going to be good enough, honestly. We then grab this. Another path. And we then got another little bit of room. Wow. More room? Yeah. We could add some nice things into here eventually. But regardless, we have now sorted out the room, which I think is in the best way I could have done it. Firstly, let's address the color palettes, because otherwise it's just going to annoy me. Now let's actually go into our logistics here. And what's going to be a nice easy way to enter this? Maybe through here? Not really. I could not have chosen a worse place to have done that. Wow. Like, even if I tried, I could not have chosen a worse place to access my logistic floor. How about here? Let's just go down here. Yep. Right, there is a lot going on here. Let's just try and take a deep breath. That's good enough. And let's try and figure out the solution. All of our fuel is coming in here, and that's 200 fuel per minute. You are now going to be going up here. Where's the hole I just made? There it is. Going up here into these 8 refineries. However, you have to be underclocked to 30. And then you have to be underclocked to 30 if we do this one. This means I have got 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. Did I do that one? 180, that's still wrong then. Because I'm making 200 fuel, is that correct? Yes. So I've got to try and split 200 fuel to make 400 plastic. 240. Deep breath and scream. I'm tempted. 240, 300. 360. We're left with 40. So you have to be on 20. Really? Yes, yeah. Then you go back to whatever you were before. Everything is now fine. Everything is now good. Let's get fuel sorted. What's the other inputs? Rubber. Rubber's fine. That'd be nice and simple to do. Now, when it comes to our fuel, what I'm going to try and do is loop you around to there, preferably using straight mode. We'll do that. And then we'll do that. You lots will now, nice and simply, without being straight, of course, because that would just be annoying, clearly. You'll just connect into each other. Okay, so our fuel is now sorted. In theory. If I do that, would you be able to reach everywhere? No, you only go up to around about there. Okay. We'll add in 2. Do that over here as well. Okay. Same thing there. No, thank you. Grand. All of our fuel sorted. When it comes to rubber. What's a you? You're output, aren't you? So I suppose it would make sense to do this. Have you come along to here. Then just straight down to there. Okay. I don't think I need a pump there. I had pumps anyway, just in case. But I shouldn't need a pump there, no. You're going around in this direction, which means that a nice little straight conveyor belt over there will do the job. With this. Then that. And again, this is to input all of our rubber, which is being produced here. So in that case, what I'm now going to try to do is bring you straight down. That's a plan. Then have you go towards here. And hopefully can do it in just one loop. No. Done. Everything should now work here. We should start to hear everything turning on. I didn't connect the power source. Woo! Brilliant. I was wondering why it was sounding a bit quiet. Even now it doesn't sound like it's actually working. Also, again, I do apologize if the screen is quite dark. There's nothing I can really do about that. Wait. What? Are you... Oh, your outputs. Oh, did I just put rubber into my output? Oh. That's not bad. It's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. I have to just drain it, basically. That should be good enough. Yep. Okay, so that never happened. If you guys thought that happened, you were imagining it. Yep. Which means I think you can also be repositioned as well, can't you? To here? Oh, but then you go straight where this... Oh... That's fine. That's okay. What I have to do now then is this. There we go. And bring you down again. Then connect that. I think this is now correct. Yeah, well done. I understand how inputs and outputs work. Brilliant stuff. Now everything should be powered on and producing items. Yeah. Oh, there we go. It's just taking time. Okay, fair enough. There we go. That only took about 6.5 hours. I like that. Welcome, Johnny. I accidentally added my rubber to my output rather than the input. That's all. But now we should start to see... Oh, there we go. Plastic. And that right there is 400 plastic per minute being produced. Which is actually quite a lot. That's nice. Sometimes when I look at numbers, it's hard to actually fathom how many items that is, but 400 per minute, that's a pretty decent amount. All of our logistics today, I love seeing this. I both love it and hate it at the same time. I love it because you can visualize your work, but I don't like it because it sometimes doesn't look too neat. But I do try and make it look neat, hence why everything's in a straight line and all the pipes like that as well. Then you're 400. And we were making some other plastic over here actually, weren't we? We've also got a bunch of excess heavy oil residue, don't we? We absolutely do. Right, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. I'm going to grab you and just bring you straight down, basically, using my favorite tool, horizontal to vertical. I haven't mentioned that in the last 5 minutes, so I just thought I'd bring it back up again. There we go. Because you are 100 heavy oil residue, which will now combine with this 37.5. Somehow. I know where. Okay, let's go. I'm excited. Do this. We do the... Is that right? I think that's right. Make sure that you're painted in the correct colours. You straight? Oh, wow. I actually built something straight today. Brilliant stuff. You will then run along parallel, I suppose, and just enter somewhere there. Okay. Can I try and find a junction? I can. And there we have it, folks. 137.5. Yes. 137.5 heavy oil residue. Where's it gonna go? I don't know. Where's this gonna go? Haven't got a clue. But it's gonna go somewhere. It might go far, it might go near. What is clear is that it is done. I think. Yeah. Okay, so where... Okay, serious question. Where is the other plastic? Hello. I have located your face. You're going... where? Oh, lovely. I'm so glad that I didn't forget to actually zone out where the plastic, the thing that I'm producing in this entire part of the factory, is actually heading off to. I'm glad that I've just left that for future me to try and figure out. Luckily, this only happened an hour ago. But occasionally, I will return back to a project after not dealing with it for a while, and I'll have no idea where anything goes and why it's there in the first place. Here. Okay, I think this should be correct. Yeah, look at that. I've played these games before. And how much plastic were we making before? It's 150. Okay. We do that. Get rid of you. Add you there as well. Get rid of that. 150. Fantastic. Fast forward to me in 3 months after finishing all of this and trying to find my plastic, not knowing where I've left it. I can almost guarantee that's actually going to happen. Now, we had 288 water there. 200 of it has just been used for this, which means we are now left with 88 water here. For the next part of the process, I need... How much time have we got left? Oh, yeah, we got what? We got time. For the next part of the process, I now want to build this, which means we are going to need 50 water. Perfect. Okay. We could definitely put this in here. In fact, because it's going straight into here. Wait. Let me just very quickly see where am I going to be placing down my logistics for this. Before I mess around with all of that, let me do this. We're making 100 plastic. That is it. So we're going to start off with 3 refineries and then 2. But I'm actually going to have to overclock one of them just so it can all fit, basically. And no, I do need some more concrete pathing along here. Absolutely. I've only got about 4.5 squared kilometers of it. I still don't know what I'm going to do there. I want to try and make it look nice. Maybe even have it as an open view into our logistics floor. Or even an access into our logistics floor. Why not? Have a ramp going down there just so I can easily get down there. That makes sense. Right? Then here we can do something a little bit different. I know what I'm going to do here. It's not really that important, but I'm going to do it after I place in these things. Where's the output and inputs? Inputs there, which is going to be crude oil. I don't know if I like that. No, because if the output is facing this direction, it can just go straight into the blender. So I am going to rotate you around. Perfect. An elevator. Oh yeah, I actually completely forgot about elevators. Here's a question for the chat. Have you guys used an elevator in this game yet? And if so, how often do you use it? I'll be honest, I've got 1 elevator in my current playthrough, and I've never used it. I don't think. Maybe once for a video, but yeah, that's about it so far for me. They're not bad, I've got a hover pack, I've got a jetpack. I can fly. Okay. 50 rubber. There we go. You lot are actually going to be slightly different. Use it all the time. Oh, okay. So it's just me then. Where's the power? There it is. I mean, luckily this is just right next to where we've already got a power source. Or a source of power, should I say. Same thing. Get rid of that. There we go. So you should automatically be powered on now, aren't you? No, you're still red. What? Oh, yes, because I've connected you to the blender, but the blender itself hasn't actually got any power yet, I don't think. Oh, brilliant. That's infuriating, but oh well. Good. A good way to travel vertically since you played the game, so for years already. Yeah, in that regard, it's a pretty good feature. Oh. What's the problem here? I know what the problem is. I don't need any of you. That's a pretty good problem to have, I'll be honest. Wait, I need you though, don't I? Yes. So I need everything else here. You're going to move slightly. What I'm going to do instead here is actually extend you out to here. Then grab that. Drag it in somewhere here. Get rid of you. And you know what? That actually works out quite nicely. Rather unintentional, I will admit, but that is exactly what I wanted it to do. So I'm happy with that. Which means that you will now be getting water. You will not be getting heavy or residue just yet. But you can do if I... Ooh. If I line things up correctly. You absolutely can do. Let me go auto mode. It's a nice curve right there. Straight down to there. Again, curve you back in there. Bring you out. Oh, perfect. Okay. It does intertwine through the conveyor belts, but I don't hate that. In fact, I actually quite like it. So we've got all of our water connected, all of our heavy or residue connected. Now it's just getting our crude oil, which we are going to need. I think it was 50, wasn't it? No, it was 75. And I don't know how much I've got over here now. Because I didn't put a sign. But I can do the maths. I must have got a sign somewhere. I know that's 480. Right. Apparently I haven't done it. Also, this can be ticked off now. Brilliant. 480 minus 300 and 412.5. Ooh. That's not enough, I can tell you that much. Do, 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 do. 4125. No. 67.5. We're only off by, what, 7.5 crude oil? Oh, man. That's infuriating. Okay. Right. That's not bad. In theory, what I can do now, because you've only got 67.5, and the other crude oil deposit over there has 480, if I just combine you both together, that's obviously less than 600. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll bring you along here. We'll have you mirrored with this. And preferably, I would actually quite like if you were to go straight down to here. And guess what tool we're using? That's right. It starts with H and ends in horizontal to vertical. That's right, it's horizontal to vertical. Don't. I'm not in the mood for tomfoolery on this occasion. I would now like you to do this. Boom. Okay. Step one. Pow. Then this. Bam. Lovely. Oh, yes. That looks fine. I don't know why I'm celebrating, but it looks okay. I can tolerate the look of that. I'm not going to select straight mode because it just doesn't work for me. Except for now it will work. There we go. I don't see that being a drama. Great. That looks all good. So in theory, along here now, we have got 480 plus 67.5. 547.5. What a weird number. I don't judge the weirdness of numbers, though. $547.5. Lovely. And now I can definitely afford to use 75 of this to go straight into here. Absolutely I can, yes. So you're going to travel along... What are you doing? I can't even blame straight mode this time. Oh. I'm looking for something. That. Okay, so instead what I'm going to try and do, since that wasn't the smartest idea I've had today, is I want to make sure that you come a little bit further down, there, and out by 1, 2. You'll then continue in a straight line, but the problem is I don't know how to get you in a straight line as of right now. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. What if I do this? Then half nudge you down? Yes, there we go. I don't like having to half nudge, so I'm probably just going to do this. Somewhere to there. Somewhere to there. Somewhere to here. And of course, you're in the same line as that, aren't you? We'll then just bring you down there. No. A straight mode for this would be pretty good. Then you can go underneath there. Wee wee. Lovely. The next part of the plan is to get you out to there, get another junction in place, so that it's exactly lined up with this. Pretty good. That works. There is a lot going on here. I'll be honest, there is a lot going on. I just really hope that's going to work. So you're 547 there, minus 75. Is 472.5. And that is how much crude oil we now have going over in this direction. Okay. Look at the logistics. Oh. This was supposed to be a fluid truck live stream. I mean, I have actually used fluid trucks, as we saw earlier in the video. Or stream. Look at all of this. I'm not even done. This is the smallest part of it, by the way. What idiot decided to do this? The answer was with me, by the way. I'm the idiot that decided to do this. Because, why not? Yeah, why not? Screw us. Except this. Wait. Okay. Slight potential problem. I am going to need... you thought it was 470.5? 472.5. Because we had 547.5 crude oil here, and we have 75 being used up there. So we have to do 547.5 minus the 75 that we're then using, which leaves us with that. Okay. The issue that I've now got is that you are producing 30 heavy oil residue, and you're producing 20. However, I believe Hmm. Yeah, I need 25. So I've actually got to try and add 2 power shards into this thing, which is actually quite annoying. Okay. Then 25 of this, and 25 of that. Okay. Which now means we've got the correct amount of heavy oil residue coming into here. And you should be making things. No, you haven't got any heavy oil residue. Did I not just connect that? Because you come down along there, you come through here, and then, yeah, you should be going up. Why aren't you? This has been on now for ages. There's no reason why that shouldn't be going up. Let's see. All good? Confused with... Oh, that's all good. Don't worry. I mean, sometimes I get the maths wrong as well, so... That's all good. Why isn't the heavy oil residue just going up here? It's got much less than a 10-meter head lift, so there's no excuse for why it's not going up. If I just try and select something random here, and then I go... fuel... and try it again. I only want you to make 50, don't I? Yes. Do I need another pump? I think honestly I might do. I don't mind having a couple pumps, but I feel like this is just quite unnecessary. I shouldn't need this here, right? Yeah, now it's working, but I should not have needed that pump. Because I should have that 10-meter head lift automatically. Unless there's an item in the game, I'm just guessing here. If there's an item in the game that's bugged, that means I can't get my items up here. Oh well, that's fine. So we are now producing fuel. And of course we are also producing our rubber. That's lovely. The fuel is then coming out from here. And it will then travel along this way. Where we are then left with this blueprint. We're going to have both of our inputs coming in from that side, inputs, and then our outputs coming out from there. Brilliant. Oh, okay. That wasn't what I meant to do. As my voice just died there. If I try and sound remotely excited, it's like my voice just doesn't like it. Oh, wow. Woo. Okay, see, you're flipped around. I know why it's done that. Oh dear, my voice has just died. Completely. In that case, even though it's going to make things slightly more complicated, I am actually going to rotate you around again. Like so. And to produce 100 plastic, you both have to be lowered down here to 83.3% efficiency. Oh dear. Today's sponsor, by the way, is Highland Spring Water. It's Scottish. And it's nice. I would say it's top 3 waters for me. I do like Ballygowan, which is Irish, and I really like the taste of that. Fiji's overrated, Boston's overrated, Evian is decent. We use Buckland's as well, that's pretty good. Nestle's okay. Welcome Vinod, hope that you're doing good. I am somewhat of a water connoisseur. Because I don't drink anything else other than water. No. What is this? Oh, you're kidding me. I know exactly what's gone on here. Oh, wow. The thing I just zoned? Yeah, that's now going to go. Not all of it, though, just some of it. We've actually made progress, Vinod. I know it sounds crazy, but look at all we've done. We have done a lot of logistical work today. All of this has been placed in, plus a little bit more behind there. But it has been a very productive stream, which again is rare for me. This is my my yearly productive stream. There we go. Problem solved, problem avoided. You lots both need fuel, which will be coming in from there, which, you know what? I can just do this, can't I? Yeah, that's so easy to do. Hammer-wise, again, should be very simple to do. Because you're built in the same line as each other. There we go. Yeah, different waters taste different. Yeah, I'm convinced. Having said that, though, I wouldn't pay an extreme amount of money for good tasting water. As long as it's clean water, I'm fine. I don't mind tap water either. Just depends where the tap is. Okay, you're missing rubber. Well, would you? Look at that. Wow, it's almost like it's designed to do... Oh, you're kidding me. I was just boasting about how it's designed to do that. Never mind, I take it back. There we go. Deary me. You were still missing something, weren't you? You were missing fuel. But how are you... How are you missing fuel? There's tons of it here. Wrong one. I don't understand why there isn't enough fuel coming here. I really don't understand. I shouldn't need a pipeline pump for this. Again, for comparison, our fuel is coming from this level here up to here. So if I just get my foundation out, I have got 10 meters of headway. 10 meters. This is 10 meters. No, that's 1 meter. This is 10 meters. I'm stuck. Up to there. This is where it's entering. That's about 1, 2, 3, 4 meters at like a stretch. So why does it need a pipeline pump to perform a very basic action which you shouldn't need a pipeline pump for? Unless it's a bug. See, this is the thing about a new update, especially on experimental when there are going to be glitches. I can't tell if it's a glitch or if it's intentional. Because look at that. I've got hundreds of fuel down there, but none of it's getting up here. But, sorry, no, it is getting up here, but it's not going in. What if I redesign this? If this is the problem, I might be slightly pissed, because the whole reason why I designed this is so I don't have problems. Okay. The starting machine. The starting machine is over... Oh, nice. Over here, but it goes straight down. As you can see here, it just goes straight down instantly. You're still producing fuel, that's good. You've only gone up by 0.3. How about you? You're slightly better. Why are you slightly better when you're further away than this? You're now at 50. I think maybe it just takes time. That's fine there as well. Okay. I think it literally just takes time. The last thing that I want to try and work on for today is to make something nice. Actually, what's the time? Oh, we've got tons of time. Yeah, that's fine. Is to make something look nice and pretty over here. I don't know what I'm going to do, will make something up. Oh, this small gap, I love it so much. Boom. You think there is a bug because in your playthrough you've done the same thing and it worked perfectly fine. Oh. Also, there's a bug which makes pipeline junction sometimes stop head lift. Do you guys see why I don't like dealing with pipe work? I'm going to keep on going back to this point because it's a point that I resurrect, well, not resurrect with. It's a hill that I'm going to die on. If we were to remove every single vehicle in this game tomorrow, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Because I personally think that conveyor belts are the best way to transport items in this game. Not necessarily for long distances, and it won't be easy. It'll take a lot of like blueprints and time. But for consistency, I know for a fact that if I was to have a conveyor belt here, going all the way down to here, let's say it's a Mark 1, I am guaranteed to get 60 items per minute. Done. If it's a pipe, I'm not guaranteed it because there's so many things that can go wrong. If it's a vehicle, you're not guaranteed it because, again, so many things can go wrong. Especially when it's bigger numbers as well. I mean, for 60 items per minute, it's not too bad. But if it's bigger items, like 1,000 per minute, how many trucks have you had? Have you got fluid trucks? Have you got regular trucks? Are they properly fueled? Is one of them not fueled? Are they too close together? If so, it means that they're going to be collecting all the resources at once, going in a little convoy, then not being able to collect the rest of the resources at the truck station. What about trains as well? Have you got enough freight platforms? Haven't got enough freight platforms and you just built the exterior of your train station? Well, demolish all that down. Oh, what's that? The fluid trains aren't consistent. Did you add a fluid buffer? You didn't add a fluid buffer? Well, get rid of that part of your station now because now you need a fluid buffer. What's that? You only had a small one. You need a big one. No, get rid of all that as well. Oh, your logistic floor isn't big enough. Just remove everything below that. Get that out of the way with drones. Oh, you haven't got enough batteries or whatever drones need. Oh, well, just make some. No, just conveyor belt. Zoop. It's not quite that simple, but, you know. I love conveyor belts. Hence the reason why I've got a conveyor belt going from here, down to there, up to there, around here, up to here again, merging with another conveyor belt highway on top of that, going through here, up around there, through the forest, down here, even further to there, to collect one sulfur node. Why? Because I know that node's going to get there. The conveyor belt's going to do its job. I don't have to rely on a truck, or a tractor, or a factory cart. I can just do it. And everything is going to be okay. That was a bit of a temper tantrum. I feel like I had to get that out of my system though. I quite like that. Tomorrow's video, why I hate vehicles in Satisfactory. No, I mean, to be fair, vehicles are very good. I just don't find them as consistent, and there's more room for human error. There's definitely room for human error with conveyor belts as well. If you're trying to zone a Mark 5 conveyor belt, but you've accidentally left one stretch with a Mark 3, well, then you're going to be getting 270 resources per minute rather than 780. Yep. The slap a Mark 1 pipe on almost every pipe? Yeah. I think I have to do that now as well. Which is a bit of a shame, but oh well. Anyway, here's my really epic plan that you guys can copy if you dare. Boom. Out. Then, where is it? I'm gonna go with this, honestly. Just like so. Blue, 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 blue. Architecture. Little bit of that. Oh, bugger me sideways. There we go. Next. You know what? I'm going to use a new feature. Let's do it. New feature. I'm clapping for myself. That's right. We're gonna go with a cross beam thing. I'm not angry. I'm just pissed off. Paint you in a beautiful carbon steel. Yeah, this is definitely my new favourite beam type, the cross beam. I absolutely love it. It's the shape, it's unique, it's not just a rectangular or square shape. It's got character, it's got design. I love it. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh yeah. Next thing is next. I can try and get underneath it. There we go. Lights under the crossbeam. Yeah, you kind of beat me to it there, but lights underneath the crossbeam. Well, signs. Let's do that. Okay. I think this will end up looking pretty okay. Let's go for a white. I can always switch it to... That's the wrong one. Aww. I can always switch it to an orange if I have to. And then we are going to zoop it. Same thing over here now as well. Ta-da! We have done a thing. And it looks nice. I know that you can see the edge of the signs. Honestly, I feel like it kind of works here. I don't mind that. Is that me being lazy to change it? No, I actually... Well, 50-50. Yes, because I can't be asked. Second of all, it does actually work. And if it looks hideous, I would change it, like what I've done with the other signs. Go 5 in that way. And 5 in that way. So that's the central point there. Same thing here. Now, what are we going to do here? I don't know. Oh, you know what I haven't actually unlocked? And what could look relatively, potentially, maybe, probably not okay in here? Let me see. I thought I unlocked this ages ago. Yeah, welcome Spitfire Architects. Thanks, game. Where is it? I'm not going to say what I'm looking for because it will kind of spoil what I'm going to do. But I can't find it. It can't be an organization, no. Why would it be there? Management, no. Is it in the hub? No, it can't be in the hub. Unless they removed... Oh. Wait. Did they remove it? Surely not. Let me go over to the hub. This is urgent. Extremely urgent. Well, it's not really that urgent. If I haven't used it in 4,000 hours, it's probably not important now. Okay, I'll say what I'm looking for. Stairs. Where are they? I can't find stairs. Well, they got that, but I mean like the actual stairs. The 90-degree ones. Because they're normally in here, aren't they? I losing it? Do you guys know what I mean when I say the 90-degree stairs? No one ever really uses them. But I did. Wait, I've got a blueprint that proves it. Under foundation? Oh, is it? Oh, not these ones. No, it's like actual stairs. You are right, though. They were under foundations. This. No, not that one. Am I making this up? Wait, sorry. I'm gonna have to Google this. I am whipping out Google. Doesn't matter. Oh, that's a pretty cool design. Ooh. I'm not stealing the designs. This. These things. Well, that's what I was going to use. The bridge over the gap there. Oh. 2 years ago? Wait. I'm not 2 years out of date, am I? They removed it before 1.0? Am I actually 2 years out of date with this? Whoa, that's pretty cool. Yeah, ooh. I know what they've done there. That's actually... I'm going to steal that. Sorry, I'm not going to steal it. I'm going to plagiarize it. They removed it because no one was using it. That's pretty cool. Sorry, I've got to stop stealing ideas. I mean, like I was just saying, it's been 4,000 hours and I haven't properly used it, so I can understand why they removed it. Oh well. Let's head back. And see how the factory is getting on from this angle. Looks fine. Preferably let's not crash. Right then. Beautiful. What can I add into here? Firstly, what I could just do is that. That looks fine, actually. Yeah, there you go. That 10-minute long segue could have just been completely cut out. Tough. You remember trying to build a staircase with them? Yes. They weren't great. I can understand why they've been removed. Speaking about actual stairs, though, let's use stairs in here. That's about center, I'd say. That's better. And let's see where this is going to take us. It's going to take us straight into a pipe. Although, I mean, technically that's actually fine. Oh, I mean, that was quite close. I don't necessarily like that idea, though. An elevator could work, as we were talking about earlier. In fact, yeah. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to very quickly, because I think you slightly overlap with this, don't you? Actually, maybe not. No. No, you're actually fine. Okay. Going to do this. Zoop that across over here. Where the heck has that just been placed? If Timbuktu needed a 4-meter wall, I've got them sorted. That was dreadful placement on my behalf. Welcome, Jacob. It's been a minute, man. Welcome back. New profile picture. I like it. Hope that you're doing good. Okay. Just gonna try and line this up now. With that. With that. With this. Now, same thing over here as well. Grand. Oh, you had this profile picture for ages? Oh, really? I knew that it was something similar. I didn't think it was exactly that one, though, but that might just be me getting old. You're doing good? I'm glad to hear it. That's where I want it to be. Then zoop you across here. Doesn't matter if it overlaps, I don't think. Okay, no, sorry, it does matter. That looks fine, though. Say that's okay. Because I don't like how that looks. So I think you're now going to have to go there. You're going to get nudged slightly in this direction. Same thing here now with you. Quick nudge. Lovely. Great. I'll make a new one with your first name and surname. Yeah, I mean, it's completely up to you. That's a good thing with YouTube. You can start fresh whenever you like. So the exact middle point here, what was that blue light? I don't even know. Oh, I know what that is. That's my hover pack. This is the middle, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. 1, 2, 4. There. So I think this is the middle. Let's see if this is going to work. I haven't used this in a while, by the way. But, I mean, since we're doing a transport stream today, might as well. Oh, don't tell me. I can nudge it. Yeah, okay, good. Still got tons of room on that side. It might be a little bit finicky, but it should work. Blocking another object? Oh, you actually are as well, aren't you? Nothing is simple, is it? Like, absolutely nothing I do in this game is just a straightforward job. A part of me quite likes that. The other part of me, I'm unsure. Let's try this again. But this time approaching from a different angle. Now if I was to use straight mode. Gets that out the way with. Which means I've got a little bit more wiggle room around here. Oh, you can't be asked to upload anymore. Yeah, fair enough. As you know, I could relate to that. There we go. Now, is that on the right level? As of right now, I don't actually think so. But if I was to do this... That looks good to me. That is going to slightly overlap. Okay, right. I don't know if I'm actually a massive fan of having the lift here. I want to have a lift. Just I don't think in this actual location. I'll come back to that idea another day. So what am I going to have here? I mean, this is honestly fine. I could try and add a couple more pipes here and there to make it look a bit more chaotic than what it actually is. But I don't want to add any pipes underneath here. The reasoning for that is because it probably is going to get more chaotic underneath here as time goes on. Because again, I've got a bunch of heavy ore residue pipes there, plastic down here. And in fact, speaking about plastic, I just realized I technically haven't actually finished this job yet. As character, you like it? I mean, I like it as well, just not in that particular place. Stop saying the word particular. Somewhere else, absolutely. I don't know where. Maybe somewhere on the other side, because we should still have a decent amount of room to work with. Maybe. Anyway, let's go back to doing this just for a quick moment. Because you're coming out of here. We're then going to select straight mode. Is it actually going to work? Yes, I think it is. And this was, I think it was 100 plastic, wasn't it? If we get our maps back open, yes, it is 100 plastic. Sorry if it is quite dark on the webcam, by the way. It's just dark outside now. We've streamed almost 3 hours. I'm really enjoying this. I'm so happy I've done a logistic stream today. That's what I mean. It's good to have a balance between doing those constant architecture streams and then actual satisfactory streams. Because this is the reason why I play the game. As much as I love designing huge factories and building all of that, well, I think it's decent stuff, but building all of the factories out, in reality, this is kind of what I prefer. Okay, I want you to go a little bit inwards like that. Make it a little bit shorter, just so I can do this while selecting, yeah, horizontal to vertical. And we have 50 heavy ore residue there. Oh, you know what? I might be a little bit naughty and do this. Okay, maybe don't do that. Oh, is there anywhere I can not have it bend off like that? If it does, it does, but I think there could be a way around it. No. Oh well. It's fine. That's too low. There is a way around it. I'm just being too lazy. Let's do it. I want you to come in through there. Same thing now with you. Bring that in using the straight mode, like so. Then now with this, you're getting horizontal to vertical. You're up by that much. That's pretty good. Oh. That's worked out lovely. The straight mode is actually straight. Great. Now, this should slot in quite nicely. If I hold down control, which it absolutely does. And just like that, we've now added an additional 25 heavy ore residue to this. Oh god, what even is the math for this? 25, 1, 5, 6, 2, 5, 162.5. Let me just double check. $162.5. Okay. Great. Ooh, the game looks nice. I think, is it dusk or is it dawn? Doesn't matter. Either way, that light purple tint looks beautiful. There we go. Just double checking that my maths is correct so far, whilst firstly ticking off all of this. So we've got 25 heavy ore residue there, 100 there, and then... Okay, so it's actually wrong. No, it isn't. Oh, I just flew straight into that. No, that's correct. And then, oh dear, that's bad. Wait, why is there rubber there? That's fine. It's alright. It's not a problem. I think the reason why that was built up there was because when I accidentally connected this conveyor belt into there, it might have actually stored an additional rubber here and here. But now that should be gone. So, fingers crossed, everything is now sorted. And when we look at all we've done today, we managed to get 3 out of the 5 rows done, which sounds good, but we've tackled the 3 smallest logistical challenges of the day, whilst having our, for example, our water pipes and the crude oil coming in from a very short distance. Wasn't really too complex to belt it over or to pipe it over. So we essentially did the easy work today. Tomorrow, I will most likely be continuing with this because we only made, what was that, 4, 5, 650. We still got 2,750 more to go. So I want to try and crack on at least with this. That's going to be the goal. I want to at least get this done by tomorrow and hopefully do some architectural things as well. Just to have that small break like what I was just mentioning earlier. Even just doing things like, well, not this. In fact, I've actually got to fix this off camera. Do I get out? Thank you. Even just doing little things like this and this. I have to work on this again, but we'll do that tomorrow. I find really enjoyable. And I feel like it just adds an interesting character. Which I like. We also have to work on our bridge there as well and finishing the exterior around here. There's so much to do. There is so much to do. But for today, if I double check this, we made good progress. We've still got to do a couple more things along there as well. All of this will be essentially ticked off by the end of the week, which would be great. Either way, stream, thank you guys very much for tuning in today. I hope that you guys ended up enjoying the live stream. I'm live again tomorrow for some more Satisfactory. Wednesday, I'll try and stream. Thursday, I'll try. Friday, I'm not sure. Saturday, I'm not here. And then Sunday, I'm not here either. So we've still got a bunch more Satisfactory content over the next few days. Just when am I going to be streaming it? I don't know. But if you do like Satisfactory, then feel free to subscribe if you wish. You don't have to subscribe, but I do a lot of content related to Satisfactory, which you might enjoy. Either way, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Have an amazing rest of your day. And as always, Godspeed and cheerio.